Drama at Adelaide United. Hey guys, my name's Lockie. This is Osbert Football, where we talk all things A-League, Socceroos, Matildas. This story has come out just recently from 7 News Adelaide. This has all been revealed after a recent interview with Travis Dodd, who is now a former assistant coach of Adelaide United. Of course, we know Travis Dodd, a former Adelaide United player himself. Plenty has been revealed in regards to what happened with Carl Vert last season, and obviously there was a lot of speculation as to what was happening behind the scenes already, considering Adelaide's dramatic downfall after having such a strong first 2 months of the season and then slipping down, almost missing out on finals. But you remember they were in the top two halfway through the season, and then just a dramatic drop in form for those last few months. Maybe this can be linked to that. We'd love to hear what you guys think. But let's break down what has been said here. We'll first of all look at this post from 7 News Adelaide, which says, exclusive in an explosive chat with 7 News. Outgoing assistant Travis Dodd has revealed how Adelaide United coach Carl Vert was undermined by the club's technical director, Ernest Faber. Ernest Faber arrived at the club about a year ago now. Dodd said Faber asked players to pick the team behind Vert's back and also outcast failed import Ryan Tunnicliffe. This is a pretty dramatic story, and obviously I guess we don't have all the information, but this is coming out and it's pretty crazy stuff, really. So I want to break down some of the quotes from Travis Dodd. You can find a video on 7 News Adelaide's social media. But he says here to 7 News Adelaide, they need to be aware. I assume he's directing this to the fans here when he says this. They need to be aware that they've got a technical director that was behaving like he was undermining, in my opinion, undermining the head coach last year. That is what Travis Dodd has said here. Dodd goes on to say here that after the Perth game, when we lost 4-1, when we arrived back in Adelaide, we were at training, and he's had a secret meeting. This is Ernest Faber, has had a secret meeting with just the leadership group and told the players that they can pick the team for the next 3 weeks and go and discuss it with the mentors in the group. Dodd says that thankfully the playing group had the resolve and respect for Carl to tell Ernest that they weren't interested in doing that. We don't know what happens, behind the scenes with football clubs in regards to team selection. Of course, we all assume it comes down to their head coach. I mean, I would assume this is very, very bizarre. Technical director just deciding that seemingly because results weren't going their way. Obviously, that 4-1 loss to Perth, we remember that in the season in April. Devastating defeat for Adelaide United to suffer a heavy loss there to the Wooden Spoon team from this past season. It certainly was a terrible result for them. But to suddenly just completely drop all faith in your head coach and seemingly behind his back as well, without Carl knowing at the time. Travis Dodd here says that I was furious because that behaviour to undermine Carl based on everything that had happened during the season. We were still a chance of making finals and doing that, and we were teetering on the edge. So for him to have done that, I was furious. Dodd said here that he spoke to Marius, who is the head of football at Adelaide United, and Carl was aware of what happened. I have to say credit to Carl for having that professional attitude and behaviour to carry on with his job. This is what Travis Dodd has said to 7 News Adelaide. And credit for Travis Dodd. He felt like, as he said at the top there, they need to be aware. I just assume he's, addressing this to the fans. And that's an important thing that I think we need more of in Australian football, just more clarity, just from everyone. We need more communication, especially considering that we are really trying to grow this league, really trying to grow the game in Australia. We all need to be on the same side here, man. So I really appreciate this clarity here and Travis Dodd speaking up about this. Look, we don't know the full story of what's happening here. I mean, it'd be very interesting to see what Ernest Faber's thinking was to, seemingly according to Travis Dodd, not really have any communication with Carl Vert about this, to go behind his back seemingly from what this story is suggesting and tell the players that they themselves can pick the team. I mean, what was Carl Vert going to do in that situation? It's a really, really bizarre one. And I wonder what Adelaide United fans are thinking now of this situation. We know Carl Vert has departed after 5 years in charge. That should be noted as well. Carl Vert has been there for some time at Adelaide United. And overall, it has been a decent spell at the Reds for their former head coach. Ayrton Andrioli has come in and he was already part of Adelaide United's system, and he's been promoted to that head coach position, and it'll be very interesting to see, what happens now going forward. How much control does Andrioli have going forward? Ernest Faber clearly wants to have a pretty hands-on role here, but the story gets even more dramatic. There was a comment on the 7 News Adelaide Facebook post of this video with Travis Dodd, and Josh Carvalho has commented here. Josh Carvalho, he was at Adelaide United for the last few years now, just recently departing. Josh Carvalho here says he is only scratching the surface of what happened behind the scenes this season. I have so much more to reveal when I'm ready. Carl was under clear instructions by the people above him, Ernest Faber, during preseason that I wasn't allowed to step foot on the pitch. Carl didn't have a conversation with me about the truth until the last 3 weeks of the season, hence why I was sidelined fit for the entire season. I got questioned on a daily basis what was happening, and then goes on to say here that what you think Adelaide United is, think again. It's not quite what I believed it was. It broke my heart and also my career as a footballer. Yeah, I mean, we did see, it was quite bizarre. There were a few players at Adelaide United who really were unable to break into the team this year, one of them being Josh Carvalho and the other one Ryan Tunnicliffe. And as the story goes on to say, Ryan Tunnicliffe was apparently forced to train on his own, and he barely featured this season for Adelaide United as well. It was quite a bizarre season, but that comment from Josh Carvalho, man, it hints to something pretty concerning going on behind the scenes at Adelaide United. And I just wonder if, the leadership group there at the Reds maybe make a statement regarding this, because yeah, man, if I'm a Reds fan, I'm seriously concerned by this. It's worrying stuff, and hopefully there is a bit more clarity in going forward in terms of how that football club is being operated. So we'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to jump in the comments. What do you make of this very interesting news coming out of Adelaide United? Big story in the off season indeed. We'll certainly keep an eye on what happens at the Reds this off season. Thanks guys for tuning in. My name's Lockie. This is Oswald Football. Hit the like button on the way out, and I'll see you in the next one.